Hi there. Hello, friends. A very good 2018 to you. Happy New Year. I hope this year gets you all that you asked for and more. Uh, this is actually, I'm making a video after a very, very long time this week. Actually, I used to make a lot of videos, but was not getting a lot of ideas lately, and I was thinking, like, hey, what else could I actually come up with? So, this is a new video that I've thought of, and this video that I'm going to talk about is going to be about why I think the future is great, but at the same time, it comes with a lot of responsibility. And I will explain. In fact, the reason behind this is that every technology that we look at right now is entering an exponential curve. So, Ray Kurzweil, if you've heard of him, he's a very famous guy. He says that as any technology becomes information, it starts to advance exponentially. And it seems that everything that we're having right now is being digitized. So, therefore, every technology that we can think of is coming across as an exponential curve. Now, the reason why I'm actually saying that is right now I'm recording this video on my mobile phone. And this mobile phone that I'm carrying right now, in the year 2017 and 2018, early 2018, it's having the power of more than 40 Cray supercomputers. Now, Cray supercomputers were the computers on which governments were spending billions of dollars in the year 1990. And the reason behind it is very simple, that the chip which actually powers almost everything digital on this planet is following the Gordon Moore's law, which is that the capacity of the chip would pretty much double in 18 months. So how that basically affects is that it basically says that if we go by Gordon Moore's law, we are not very far from creating something like an R2D2 from Star Wars. Now, why this is going to affect you is I'm actually going to talk about it a little bit. All of this actually stems from the fact that what makes the world run? Well, the world is run on electricity, and we all know that though the world runs on oil and there is no peak oil theory, which has now been proved wrong, it comes at a certain cost. So electricity, to generate electricity, you have to drill down, take out oil, burn it, create electricity, and then power the cities and everything on the world, and create a lot of carbon dioxide and other dangerous gases for the planet. On the other hand, there is other forms of electricity like nuclear, which is not very safe, coal, which again is a problem. But now, as you've seen, like in the last 10 years or last 20 years, the cost of solar power has actually come down by 99.5%. It's actually, as I speak, the price to power to use solar power to run places, cities, and countries has become like super cheap. And it is said that in probably the next 6 to 10 years, electricity would be virtually be free. Now, that's a great thing. First of all, if you have free electricity, you can do a lot of things. You can power transport, you can power houses, you can power a lot of things. The only thing which is right now stopping electricity from being like virtually free is that our entire infrastructure is built around coal, natural gas, and oil. However, with the new kind of setup taking place, I'm sure that it's going to change a lot in the next few years. Second of all, what is also happening is that the cost of batteries is coming down at a dramatic pace. So we are already on the verge of having solid state batteries, which means to produce electricity, store it, and then use it again is going to be like super cheap compared to using a non-renewable source to power the world around it. Number two is that if electricity becomes cheap, what happens? What happens is that to desalinate oceans or to boil the oceans and get potable water becomes like super cheap. The world does not have a dearth of water. In fact, three-fourths of the planet is it's blue. We have a lot of water, but it's just that less than 2% of the water is potable or can be used from the source itself. And to purify the water and to use it for our consumption is very difficult. So if electricity becomes like super cheap, you can actually go ahead and make like large scale graphene sieve filters and make large scale elemental fluid technology based filtration technology, use large amount of electricity which is virtually free, and use the oceans to actually go ahead and give people drinking water, which takes care of the biggest problem that close to 70% of all the diseases on this planet are waterborne diseases. The third thing which becomes like very, very easy is like if you have free electricity, which is very cheap, and you have lots and lots of water available, what do? You start planting trees, you start growing forests, because that's also one of the biggest reasons as to why it becomes very, very difficult to actually go ahead and reforest or increase the green cover of the planet, which again has a very good long-term impact, that it traps a lot of carbon dioxide, reduces the amount of greenhouse gases, and cools the planet as we go. So that's a great, great future. So now if you're talking about like this is happening, if we can grow forests, how do we actually grow forests in places where there is very bare minimum sunlight, where there's actually a very good point to it, and there's a very good solution which has been formed, that there has been a lot of technological advancement in LED lighting systems. Nowadays you have vertical forests being done in a lot of developed countries, and the cost of having vertical forests is falling down very quickly, because the LED lighting systems in which you can actually wave control and control the how should I say, properties of the light is developing very fast. Now you can actually go ahead and make a light which is very similar to solar light by nature. They have huge plants right now in Germany, they call it solar ampere, which is being used to grow plants inside and in very cold vegetation areas. So that means electricity has become cheap, water is virtually free to be cleaned, we are able to actually grow plants, we are able to control world hunger by growing a lot of plants. And not only that, we are actually now in the verge of making like lab grown meat, which also means that a lot of non-vegetarian food which we make by killing animals is going to be stopped in the coming decade itself. In fact, the price of lab grown meat is now right now only 3 times the normal meat which is available in the market, which is a great how should I say, reduction in price, because when it started in the year 2012 it was at 3,000 times the normal price. So it has pretty much come down 1,000 times at the rate of price itself. So if you can take care of water, if you can take of of making the planet green, if you can take electricity cheap, and if you can make food, great food, what do? Well, here's the thing, which is I'll say is kind of antithesis to a lot of things that I actually say, is that with all of these things happening and technology like increasing at a really fast rate, automation is going to come in. So why are we talking about automation? Now here's the thing, the human brain actually works at the capacity of how should I say, petabytes, and it computes at petaflops. Right now most of the fastest of computers like Google DeepMind and so on and so forth, which is artificial intelligence, is not general purpose AI. It's actually AI which is done for very, very specific purpose. However, what has happened is that if you look at it, the year 2017, in the year 2016, there was a company with the name of D-Wave in Canada, which has actually made the first quantum computer. And it is right now at 2000 quantum qubits. Well, it's not a pure quantum computer, but it is very similar to the concept. However, both IBM and Google have also developed their own pure Turing test based quantum computers. That means computers which have the capability of solving quantum physics problems, or of solving problems which are not possible right now with present computers. These are computers which have already started to give some evidence of multiverses, alternate dimensions, and multiple realities. And it is going to be a very, very important space. In fact, you can actually go on Google, type the Google Quantum Project, which is wherein Google has already given a 50 qubit of quantum computer, and it is letting people use their own problems solved through a quantum computer. So assuming that the work in quantum computing goes ahead at the rate it is, we are not very far. Basically, they say that we are right now far from 6 doublings from the present state of computing to actually reach a state which would mean that our technology will be superhuman. That means it will be way much more advanced, way much more intelligent, and would be able to compute problems and understand solution to things that we have not thought of. In fact, I would actually go ahead and ask you all to check a channel which is known as Project Camelot, which talks about how the humanity is going to change because there is an imminent ET contact which will happen in the next coming decades because of the way we have improved the technology and the way, quantum computing and interstellar travel, a lot of things would be happening. So watch out for this space. I will be making a few more videos on this, explaining as to why I think that the future is bright. It's amazing for the human race, and we are right now about to enter the golden period. Thanks a lot you for watching my videos. You guys have a great day ahead and stay blessed. Thank you. Bye bye.